Hey everybody, want to Wisdom here. It is about 10:15 or so, Wednesday night, July 31st, 2013. Had to think a little bit about the date there. Been out of town, came back in. I believe these arrived today. I'm not 100% sure. They could have been in the, P.O. box Monday or Tuesday. I don't really know. That said, this is, of course, if you can't tell by the giants behind our Castaways Newlanders Battle Series, this is in regards to the Frito-Lay Giant Sidekicks. If you recall, made the video, walked you through that. I've got the blog post on it. Also, while I was gone Monday, went ahead, I got to somehow, I had Wi-Fi long enough at the hotel, able to go ahead and get that brand new gameplay footage from Skylanders Swap Force up for you. Got a first look really at Frino. Got a pretty sweet, albeit short clip of Hoot Loop. Then we saw quite a bit of Free Ranger, a little bit of Freeze Blade, a little Roller Brawl. All of them looked impressive. Also, in that release, they had some official character art, i.e., package illustrations and whatnot. A couple of screenshots as well. If you haven't checked that out, go to the blog, scroll down, and it'll be just a few posts below this one. You can also find it on YouTube, but that's in regards to Swap Force. Definitely don't want to miss that. That said, when I sent off, I found two. That's all. I can't remember if it was Target or the grocery store, but I found two of the special bags. That's all they had. Some people can find these just falling off the shelf. Some people can never locate the special bags. It's been an issue for me in the past. This year, I found these two pretty early on in the game. It's probably why I have two boxes here. Other issue is, it took me a while to find two more. I got those two and then nowhere had them. They'd have the multi-packs, but they weren't the specially labeled ones. No point in buying them without the code. Then the last two I picked up when I was downstate, somewhere around San Antonio. That Walmart I walked into had a crud ton of them. So that's the four. That's where I've left off. I've got like 3.5 bags to go here. I'm trying to beat the expiration date on them. Nonetheless, I would tell you who I'm going to unbox. I am not 100% sure. Obviously, I'm going to do one at a time. I'll know in the second one. But this is how they come packed. There's been a lot of people, wondered how this would go. This is really a step up from last year. I mean, last year's was kind of like a crapshoot where you just have to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4. And the issue being, if you send them in at the same time, you could potentially have had duplicates and then gotten into a mess. Luckily for most people, myself included, the GameStop promotions after the fact worked out pretty well. Pretty much anyone that wanted them has been able to get them. Again, why the promos don't go other places where the chips are available, or GameStop and EB, I don't know. I'm not in control of it. The thing, though, that I want to cover first is the box. And it is a box. That's a very important feature here. I'll give you the dimensions in the second video. I don't have a little tape measure here, but when you see this essentially in your P.O. box or your mailbox outside the house, get excited. It's your Skylanders Giants Sidekicks. You can tell right there, Young American Minnesota in the background. That's kind of where we, have everything based promotion-wise. They've done... I remember as a kid they did like the cereal stuff. You get like the Kellogg's baseballs and stuff out of there, I think. But basically, overlay, for whatever reason, this appears to have come out of the DFW area. I don't know if they have a warehouse or some of the shipment station there. It's fine with me. I get it quicker. The first two that I ordered, and I did it based on the... I never know if I should go based on what I want more or what I think will be popular and harder to get. Last time I just went with my two favorites of the Sidekicks, which was Trigger Snappy and, more importantly, Terabyte. You can see them way back off in the distance. Chase McCain is hidden. May or may not be in a different spot. He will be in the next video. But did that, then I was able to get the other two. Actually, a complete set at GameStop. That said, the first two that I ordered, I personally thought was, pretty neat, but also Tree Rex, who out of these four may be my least favorite, although I do like him, just, compared to Thumpback, Eyebrow, and then Genie. That said, his sidekick looked awesome. And this should, in theory, be I Small or Tree Rex. Again, I've not opened either box. I'm not just saying that, I mean they're literally still sealed from the factory. So with the introduction out of the way, here we go. The box is a big upgrade for the simple reason they're not in an envelope. I've had envelopes from the post office shredded before. It is a substantial, I mean this can still get smashed, don't get me wrong, but I mean I'm putting a little bit of pressure on it. It's got some flex. The bottom line is a little better off than your padded envelope. First thing that we see is this little card here. Hopefully you can see that. It doesn't glare as bad as some of the stuff I've done recently. Thank you. We have received your request for a Skylander figure in the Skylander Back to School program, sponsored by Frito-Lay Incorporated. The Skylander character you requested is enclosed. On behalf of Frito-Lay, we appreciate your participation in this promotion. Sincerely, Young America Corporation. Nice little nod there. The system this year was an upgrade. Getting to do it online. I know some people are miffed at the one per house, particularly if A, you have multiple children, B, you're a collector, you want an open set and a sealed set. Basically, it becomes one of those things, you ship it to friends' houses, grandma, cousin. A lot of Canadian people, you know, have it shipped to their buddies on the other side of the border. Some people can use work, basically whatever works. That said, this one, interestingly enough, is Thumpling. That's somewhat troubling. He was ordered very, very, very recently, particularly in regards to the others. But well, we'll run with it. So this is Thumpling, and maybe that means they have these. They might not even have the others. I don't know. We'll know more once I open the other box. Let's go ahead. Here's what he looks like in the packaging, kind of as expected. Gonna open him up, see if there's a web code or anything I want to keep hidden first. And the answer is yes. So here's our little throwaway instructions. And right here, what you get the little standard sticker sheet, if you will. There's the artwork for Thumpling. That'll kind of be a big perk for some folks. There's the name tag. You got a QR code, then a web code down below that. Now we can actually unleash the beast. Here we have Thumpling, our first Skylander Giant Sidekick to arrive. Looks pretty good. Obviously, he doesn't have all the teeth. Not quite as detailed as his full-size counterpart primarily. It's a space issue. I mean, you can't cram on all the armor and, you know, hold the anchor, etc. It kind of also keeps in, you know, the playful nature of things, or just, you know, kind of like the miniature child version of the, you know, said hero. But got the nice, you know, water element going on. We've got the orange base, of course, to indicate it is Skylander Giant. There's your water element logo. The paint. No, I'm not quite as impressed with this Thumpback. It could be the fade, which he does have that. I don't know if you can tell. It's really subtle on this one, where Thumpback fades kind of from a bleach white, steel gray to a blue. This is kind of just more of a white to what you see on the back fade. It's very subtle. Let's go ahead and get the big guy up here. I'll set him down so we get a comparison. Again, first thing you're going to note is the detail, or lack thereof, with the sidekick. It does have the shoulder pads going. You know, that's a nice nod. They at least did that. But doesn't have quite as many barnacles. Doesn't have, you know, the age spots, etc. Which, again, you know, it actually kind of makes sense. And bear in mind, you know, this Thumpback does have a few upgrades in terms of the character. The lower jaw area, where it's kind of got like the wrinkles, if you will, that is actually present on the sidekick. I think you can see it pretty well there. Again, the teeth, they're kind of obviously not near as many on Dumpling, but you can see them. They're not quite as sharp either. Tongue detail, it's absolutely not there. The open mouth, it's actually a blue roof on his mouth, whereas, you know, Thumpback has extremely intricate detail there. It's not that they did a bad job on this, it's just that they did a really, really good job on Thumpback. It brings us to the eyes. His are actually a bit narrower. The kid, of course, has the big eyes, which again, that is kind of characteristic of children. Overall, I mean, it's basically what you would expect. It's a miniature version of Thumpback. Lacks some of the detail, obviously. Again, Thumpback was extremely intricate when it comes to the detail. That said, that is him. Here they are. I'm trying to hold them at the base level for you. They are side by side. I've had a few people ask if they would be larger than regular sidekicks. I said no, they should be the same size. That looks to be the case. Let me grab a Gilrunt for you, since he is a water element. Hold these two side by side for you. They're essentially the same height. I mean, Gilrunt may have them by literally the top fin, basically. Thumpback's a bit wider. Thumpling, I'm sorry, is a bit wider. But let's see if I can get that set up for you. Right there, you kind of get a feel. I'll have some, if you go to the blog, I'll post the link right after the, I guess at the top of the video description. Take that, I'll have some standalone shots. I'll set them up here on this edge of the pool table. You can kind of get a feel for how they compare. They're essentially, again, you know, here's Fright Rider. You know, not the best example, but I mean, it's half the size, basically, of a regular Skylander. So, a little less than that compared to a Giant, just because they are, you know, the larger counterpart. I guess Chill, since she is water element. Again, her little javelin or lance, it actually comes up about to his roof of his mouth. I mean, that gives you some perspective. If I put his base on the top, he's just a shade taller than she is. So essentially, we'll run with, you know, these sidekicks for the Giants are roughly half the size of the Skylander, as expected. Essentially, they're the exact same size as the other sidekicks. Again, that is what I expected. Do note, though, and I've mentioned this before in the water element stuff, it was kind of a translucent blue-green, a little pale, if you will, last time around. They really did a nice job on the coloring this time. It's kind of more true to the water, a little bit more vibrant. But this is Thumpling. That's about all I can tell you. This makes me wonder, though, is this box going to be iSmall or Barkley that I ordered first? Or will it actually wind up being like a mini Genie or something? That remains to be seen. I guess we'll find out. Don't want to open them all at the same time. If I'd have gotten all four, I would have, but I like to do the standalone, and then I'll probably do something. Once I've got them all four here, we'll make a quick video of them. But again, basically same size as the sidekicks, nothing unexpected there, at least on my end. Half the size, essentially, of a regular Skylander. Not quite the detail of a full-size figure. Again, that's to be expected. Let's have some fun here. I mean, the Giants, you know how they stack up against a regular Skylander. That's about what you see here. I mean, I've got these two guys base level to base level, and then I've stacked a Gilrunt on top of Thumpling. Just a shade shorter. Again, that's kind of what you expect there. As you can see, Fright Rider's actually fairly tall, so we'll bring Pop Fizz in here. It's essentially, I mean, you know, there's Thumpling right beside Pop Fizz. You kind of take a step down. It's almost like a ladder, if you will. But that's it. Like I said, I mean, I'll do some standalone shots for you. I'm actually kind of surprised because I assumed this would be iSmall or Barkley, and it's not. And that was very unexpected. That said, again, this is Thumpling. Looks really good. I'll get some gameplay video of him for you here shortly. There are storms outside. I do not want to get struck by lightning again. That happened last time I recorded last week before going out of town. And I mentioned it in the update video. Don't want to deal with that again. That said, it wouldn't be as bad as losing, you know, the entire path on Series 2 Prison Break. But that, you know, we'll make do with it. Again, I'm just kind of caught off guard because I expected iSmall and Barkley, and that is not what's here. So that said, again, Thumpling looks pretty good. Again, just like some of that intricate detail that you have, particularly with the Giants. That aside, he actually looks pretty good. Again, you know, just a miniature, you know, child version, not as developed, obviously. Again, the main nod here to the full-size counterpart is the shoulder pads. sort of has some barnacle buildup, you know, on the arms or the fists. He does have, you know, kind of like the gray toenails. Obviously, not as developed as what we see on Thumpling here, who's quite menacing. But you can picture him kind of growing up and evolving into what we see with Thumpback. So that is it. That is Thumpling, the first Skylander Giant Sidekick I've received. I do have the other 3 coming. One of them obviously here. I just have no clue who it's going to be. These guys were not ordered very long ago. That's why I expected Barkley or iSmall. But I'll can it. I'll come back in. We'll open that one. Like I said, if you want to see like some better side-by-side size comparison, just go to the blog, and I'll get it taken care of for you there with some pictures. But again, this is the first one I got. Could have been here a couple days ago. I was out of town. But as of right now, Wednesday, July 31st, 2013, this is Thumpling. And the next question is, what is in this box? Obviously, again, I was not expecting Thumpling to come, so maybe it'll be Mini Genie. I don't know. We'll wait and see. That said, he does look pretty good, and I will leave it at that. So, as always, thanks for watching. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Make sure to subscribe to stay up with all the latest. Got quite a bit more of the Skylanders Giants blind playthrough coming for you. Again, currently working on upgrades for our Series 2 characters, so don't want to miss their WoW pals. But again, this is Thumpling, one final look of them. And again, to see side-by-side size comparison shots, head over to the blog, and we will, you know, have something there for you. But again, thanks for watching, and we will catch you later.